Welcome everyone. Hello, this is Miriam from Paper Wheel Studio, the home of the wheelchair crafter. Welcome. Glad you're here with me today. Today I'm going to do something fairly simple. I am beginning the 100-day project here, or maybe some of you call it the 100-day challenge. I'm a day late, but that's not unusual for me. I'm always a day late and a dollar short. You know how the saying goes there. That's what happens in this craft room anyway. So I am going to make some what I call library card pockets. This is going to be very simple and not too difficult. All you need are some index cards. I've got a variety here. I have some plain. These are just plain index cards. You could even use lined ones and turn them over if you have no plain ones. I also have a variety of some, I've got mainly blues because I'm working on some blue themed journals right now. These are just some craft ones that I bought at Amazon, 3x5 index cards in a craft color. I also have a couple, these are ivory colored. It also came from Amazon. And these are just some 4x6 that I had cut this size that I used in another project, and these were left over, but I thought they would make nice, smaller library pockets. And I also, if we have time, I have some 4x6 here cards. I don't know how much decorating I'm going to get to. Mainly, I want to show you how to put these together pretty quick. And I'm going to try to keep all my videos to 30 minutes or less while I do the 100-day challenge. I'm just challenging myself to spend 100 days of crafting and spending about 30 minutes each day working on things that I need for the journals. I have really dry skin. Forgive me. I know my hands look very dry and hangnails and cracked and all those kinds of icky things, but forgive me. I'm here crafting. That's the important thing, I think. And we'll go from here. So we'll start out with a simple index card. We'll even use a simple white index card. Now, if you want to cover your index cards with paper, you can do that. I have a random selection of papers over here on the side that I thought I could use to cover my index cards. And I also have some smaller pieces that I thought would work just perfect for pockets. And I also have some pieces of random kinds of items that you could use for pockets. So I'm just gonna pull a couple out here. I have this really old cash register receipt. What I thought I would do is simply put this, I'll put it on an index card like that so I'm not missing much. And then I can trim around it and we'll add our pocket. That's all we're going to do is decorate, then add our pocket. So I am using today, I got several of these on Amazon. They're the disappearing Avery glue sticks. They work pretty good for holding things down for the most part. I feel confident for what I'm doing with it today, since if your papers are long enough, you can actually fold them over the sides. So I'm just going to cover this with glue, and I'll get it covered here. And I'm going to do a little bit of a mass mix. I think I'll get some bases ready, get some index cards ready to go, and then I'll put pockets on them. I don't always use something, don't be like me. Put something down so your glue mat, I've got a pretty old mat. I don't care if it gets glued. I have a little cloth here I can wipe if I get glue on it. That's going to stick to my projects or anything. So I'm just going to lay these down on here. If I can get it laid down straight. And for those of you who haven't been with me before, yes, I am in a wheelchair. I enjoy crafting, paper crafting very much. I have caregivers who help me get things set up so that I'm able to film and do my videos. And if there's things that I'm unable to do because of my strength, I have others help me prepare my crafting sessions in advance. If I have something I want to work on for the day, I'll have my caregiver help me get set up. And that's what I work on for the day. It does require some planning on your part. But if you are somebody, you have a spouse at home, you could ask them to help you get things out before they would say go to work for the day. And then you can craft at your kitchen table while they are at work. So I'm like, it's easier for me if I just lay things down and then come back and cut it the way that I want it. So I'm just going to use my scissors and cut my edges here. And then we'll go ahead and cover some more. I don't know that we'll get too much decorating done today, and that's okay. In some of my other videos, I'll just simply probably just be doing some decorating of things that we make. I'm just going to see how long it takes me to make some things and how long it takes me to get some things done today. And go from there. Welcome to my crafting marathon for 100 days. I hope I don't miss any. I'm going to try real hard not to. We'll post one every day. Starting today. Today's, for me, is the 24th, and my plan is to have this video up by this evening. So I'm only one day, like I said, late in this, but that's okay. It all works out anyway. Okay, so now I have this as my background. So I'm going to come along some of these playing cards I have over here. I'm going to go ahead and cover. Some of the blue cards, I may simply only cover the bottoms of them. So let me get some here that are ready to roll. Let's see what else I have here that used to cover things. I also have some book page here and some random 6x6 papers. Here we go. I've got this, so let's just, we can actually use this to cover a couple here. So let's see how many we can get glued on the back of this piece of paper here. We'll start here. And since I'm sticking it down on the paper, I'm going to use the paper under it to be my glue piece, because that'll just give a little extra glue when I stick it down. So how's everybody doing today? Is it finally getting warm in your neck of the woods? We're going to be up to, I believe, low 50s maybe today. I'm not real sure on that, to be honest. I like this paper. It has those lines that you can line things up on it easy. It's just simply a random piece of scrapbook paper that I had in my scraps. I used to make cards, so I have lots and lots of scraps that need used up. So part of my plan for the 100-day project is to get some of my scraps used up and use some things. I've been organizing and cleaning in the craft room, and I've run into some things that I have forgotten over time that I had. So I'm gonna just see how I can use them and make some things here and see how it goes. Let's see if I can line that up on that edge neatly, and then maybe the sides will line up good. Didn't do too bad there. You know, if you've been with me before, you know how sometimes things end up a little crooked or not perfect, or, you know, I'm not the best crafter in the world here. I did just recently, I got me a brayer. Not having a lot of hand movement sometimes. That brayer, you can just put her down and simply roll it across there, and you've got that down. With a glue stick, you don't have to worry about the glue oozing out. You can just simply lay it down and brayer it. This is just perfect to use in this instance. So let's see here. And I hold smaller scissors better. I prefer to use them sometimes. I will use larger scissors depending on what I'm doing, but if I'm doing anything that requires some precision cutting, I will use my smaller scissors because they just do better for me. I think we'll just go ahead and move on down to this next one before I cut the end off here. And I'll keep the end. It's a nice little scrap to go in with my scraps. However, I'll probably throw this strip away because I don't know though. You know, do you ever, I don't know about you, but if you are a regular junk journal maker, you end up with tons and tons of scraps, right? Do you ever struggle with what you should keep and what you should throw away? How much of it you really want to keep around? And how much do you really just want to get rid of? I know I struggle with that quite a lot. I do welcome your comments. Please, you know, share and share alike as far as the comments go. It really helps out the algorithm for my videos so that you can see more and more videos. I hope that I don't intend to do a lot of tutorials. I just like to show you how I craft and do things so that you can see that even with limitations, you can still do a lot of good paper crafting. All right, I'm going to get a few more of these ready and then we'll go with the pockets so that I don't get behind here on my time. You could also, if you have book page, you can cover it with a book page for your background. That kind of makes a neat looking library pocket. I think we'll do one of those next. Lay this aside to go with borders and trims. That might make a nice trim on a journal that I'm making. I'm making a journal for a little boy, so that would be kind of nice to have as a sample piece. See here, what else? Oh, I have a piece of book page here. Let me just use this. This is from American history, so that's kind of neat. I think we really need to make sure our kids know our American history, because I just wonder sometimes how it's going to end up in the long run. How, whether or not we're going to, kids are really going to get the history they need in school, I guess is what I'm trying to say. All right, where'd the other one go that I just cut? Or do you ever lose things on your desk? I do it quite often. All right, I'm going to lay these aside over here so I don't mix them up with the ones I'm working with. And I think on this one, I think I'm just going to, I want all book page on it. I'm just going to lay it down here, tear the edges, use a little bit of ink. I think today I will pull out my, Ah, I already have it laid out here. Stormy Sky. It's my blue inks. It'll go with my blue boyish journal that I'm working on. All right, let's see here. And remember, technically you don't really even need to cover the whole card, but I am, just because it's easier for me to do that. So I'm going to just take my book page, and I don't like to measure, so we're just going to do a little cutting and tearing here. Just fold it over and really give it a good crease when you fold it over. And fold it the other way, again, give it a good crease. And usually most book pages, unless it's a very heavy book page, will just tear fairly easy once you do that. And it gives you a really neat torn edge look. Now, with something like that, I usually come back in, see if I can't grip it, I'll just take my scissors. Oh, I was lucky that time. Okay. Now we need to do the other side. So let's bring it in a little. I don't mind if you see that craft cardstock look on the edge. So let's bring that in to about right there. Looks good. I also keep my little scrapbook page. They work great for collage. So, are you all participating in the 100-day project, 100-day challenge? Have to let me know if you are. Certainly, if you want, let me know. Post a picture, share a picture with me, or show me. I have a Facebook page you can go to. Show me what you've made. If you're not a member of my channel, please subscribe. You'll get notified then when I have new videos up. All right. This is going to be the last one I cover. Only because I know I'm being obsessive about time here, folks, but I would truly want to keep this to 30 minutes so it'll be easy for anyone who wants to do something like this can see, how simple it really is. Well, see if the glue stick will cooperate here so that I can turn it up. There we go. I have a hard time gripping things like this, so I often will grip between my first and second fingers. When you have limitations like I do, I have a form of muscular dystrophy, which makes my muscles weaker. When you have that, you just learn ways to do what you want to do. I mean, if you want to crochet, you learn ways to crochet. If you want to craft, you learn ways to craft. About the only thing that would be difficult for me to learn how to do is ride a bike, obviously. But you know what I mean. You just find ways to do what it is that within your limitations that you want to do. I mean, if there's a way to do it, you'll find a way to do it. Don't give up. And even if you don't know at the moment, I mean, check it out. There's a lot of YouTube videos out there. There's a lot of information out there. You can find a lot of new things that you can just do. All right, got that baby deal. There's that new brayer of mine. This is new. I just got it in the mail even today. Came in the mail earlier today. So, oops, turned it the right way, Miriam. All right. And I simply put it down, and boy, that is just ideal. That is such a game changer for me, folks. Because usually I'm doing this and flattening, and it's just a game changer. All right. And I have just a couple blue ones here that I can pull from if I finish with what I've got here. So let me pull a couple pieces in here from the side and see what we can come up with. I have smaller pieces and I also have some interesting pieces that I thought I could use here to make my pockets. So here we go. We'll pull something out of that. And yeah, there's Monopoly money too, folks. So let's try, you know what? Let's just, here we go. I'm just going to go with the first one I picked up here. I have my tag. To do the pockets part, you want to make sure you have papers. If you need to trim them with your cutter, make sure your edge is nice and smooth on that way. And if you're going to ink, now would be the time to ink one edge of your paper. That's all you have to do is ink the one edge. Because the other edges are going to be folded around to the back. So, and I have a new ink pad here, so let me see. I gotta get some ink on it so it'll work. May not look like there's much on there, but believe me, there is, and it will put the ink down on my paper. See how it's inking the edge of it for me? So we're just going to ink the edge. And while I have it out, I'm going to go ahead and ink my blue 50 here because I'm going to use it next. So I'm going to go ahead and get it ready. So all you got to do is put it down when we're ready. We'll probably use it on one of these smaller, they're a little bit skinnier than an index card, I believe. The little, I don't know, they might be the same width, but they are shorter, so we'll see. And where was the, this is the other, I have a receipt for a bank note from 1907 that I'm going to use to make my pocket out of. I had the opportunity to get some old vintage things from the lady who was actually getting rid of a bunch of things in her shop. I bought some from her, and I also, she gave me a box of things, so it's kind of neat. All right, put our ink back. We have all of those ink. Did you see when I inked that, it tore a little bit? If you have a piece that is very, very fragile, you might want to back it with something before you use it. I think this one will be okay, even though it tore there, because just handling it, it's not falling apart. All right, so let's go back here to my page. So all we're going to do, you can make your pocket as deep as you want it. I'm just going to put her right there, and then we're going to turn it over, and we are just simply going to bring the sides in. These are to be glued down in a journal, so I do not care what the back looks like. I'm not even going to bother with cutting the excess off. I'm just going to simply put my glue down and fold her over. Try to get it as straight as I can on here. And the good thing about, if you get your piece of book page on there straight, when you go to put these down, you can use the lines of your book page to make sure your pocket's straight as well. In fact, even if you end up putting that book page a little crooked, as long as it's not obvious, you might want to try your pocket just a little bit crooked, because it'll look even more crooked if your book page is off. So, you know, that's one of the little secrets to hiding your mistakes. So it's kind of hard to use a brayer when you're doing that, so I just simply used my fingers. Again, that either something isn't exactly straight there looking at the back, but if you look at the front, it looks straight with the book page, and that's the important thing. So I'm just going to fold the bottom up by folding it like that, and then I'm going to cut these out so I can fold it up. I could have cut it before I glued it, but I wasn't exactly sure where to cut it at the time. So I'm just going to cut this at a diagonal. Then I'm going to cut these two pieces off and fold it up. That works too. Again, it doesn't matter what the back of it looks like. It's going to be glued down, folks. In the past, well, in some things I still am very much perfectionistic. However, I'm learning to let go of that as you do a junk journal. If you try to do junk journals when you're a perfectionist, you will spend the entire day trying to figure out how you want to decorate something or trying to decide what goes with what. Sometimes you just gotta try it and see how it does. Okay, I'm not going to go ahead and ink these around the outside so I don't take up time. You can certainly do that. Make sure that gets down good. And even if the little edge comes up a little bit, remember it's going to be glued down in the book. So there you have it, a simple library pocket. You can put a notch in it if you want. It's an obvious pocket to me. I'm not going to notch them because normal library pockets are not notched. So there we go. We'll put him over here in case we have a little time. So let's come back and Let's put the $50 bill on this one. We're just simply going to use it as a pocket. And I'm going to try to use the smallest amount from the bottom to fold up. And I'm going to do that first because it's so small, and I want to make sure I get that good and burnished down. I do have a couple glue pens here that I'm going to use, because that's when something's really small and thin like that, the glue pens work well to glue them down. So we'll go ahead and finish up these last two pockets. Oh, come on. There we go. It landed on my desk. It went flying, but at least it landed on my desk. So I'm just going to put some glue down here. The glue pens allow you to put glue right where you need it. And I've used these before for card making from, I get them from Amazon. In the past, they've worked really well. So, and again, it's going to be glued down. So, once you put it in a journal, it won't matter if, it's not going to come back up. So you just got to get it stuck down initially, and that worked perfect. We're just going to do the opposite of what I did before. I'm going to clip the corners just same as I did the other way. And I'm not going to worry about clipping the top. I'm just going to fold it around. I just wanted to show you too that you can use all kinds of papers when you're making these. If you have scraps for making larger things, they work out great to make your pocket parts with. Or you can use things like I have, something else in your house. Just look around your house and see what you've got. Okay. See how those two little points stuck up there? I'm just going to go back and trim those now. That looks pretty cool. And for, for a boys' journal, Monopoly money, that's pretty cool for kids, I think. And see, there we have a Monopoly money pocket. It's ready to go in a journal as well. All it needs is some decoration. Okay, we got a couple more here. It is 28 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and get these down. And I don't like that with that receipt background. So let's put it on this other blue one that I have here that apparently I cut the paper or something got crooked here on me. So I'm just going to trim this little white part so that it's looks straight on it. I know I cut my cards with paper trimmer, but apparently I got that one a little crooked. All right, so we're going to put that down. I want to make sure the 1907 is up on the pocket. So we're going to do this. And again, I'm going to bring the bottom up first because I want to make sure that I get that date on there. And I don't want to miss out on that. So we'll put the glue down and I'll bring it up. Where's that tear? Okay, it's going to be on the back. Good. I don't want to put that tear that I made in the front. I could back it with washi tape. If you tear something that you don't want to tear, you can always back it with washi tape. There we go. Now we're just going to do the same thing I did with the other one. Only I'm going to go ahead this time, so I don't have to put so much glue on it. I'm going to trim down my sides a little. If you have very much, you can do that, because all you need is enough to turn it around and glue it. I don't think there'll be anything worth keeping on the sides. No, I got the bank name on there, and I think we'll be good. Tell you what, tomorrow we'll do pocket decorating for my video, and we'll come back and decorate. I may throw some more pockets together later today off video or off camera, and I'll come back tomorrow and decorate all my pockets. All right, so basically folks, that's how you do it. You just simply take your index cards, cover them. Again, if you want to use, I'll do one that's just plain, so you can see how quick they come together if you don't have to cover anything. So that one, yeah, it might be a little crooked, but I'm okay with that because I can come back and by the time I decorate it, you won't notice it. So that'll be good. I like it. Okay, I'm just going to use one of my blue cards here. And I have this bingo card. I'm going to cut a piece of it and use it to make my pocket with. So, where's my... I've lost my scissors, folks. You see them? Oh, there they are, up here. You're probably yelling, look in front of you. All right, let's see here. I think, let me see how much I want. It's going to cut off my bingo, but that's all right. I don't care. Let's cut it. We'll use this whole one. Okay, and we're going to get this down. Remember the top, make sure your top's straight when you do these. That way you know when you put them down that it's going to be straight. I thought that had maybe a little bit of the stuff, you know, where it comes out of a tablet, but apparently not. So I'm going to line this up as best I can. I'm going to use that bottom line to make sure I've got it straight. I'm going to put the bottom up because then once I get the bottom up, the whole thing will stay in place. I learned when I did that bottom one with the 20, or the 50, it worked out a lot better. All right, it went on straight, yay. And this will be our last one I'll do on camera. Thank you for joining me today. Like I said, I will come back and join you tomorrow where we will do some pocket decorating. All right, so there we go. Oh, and you can tell it's a bingo card. I got the B and part of the O, so that's perfect. So we got, and I don't think it's too bad, we got 4 made and 1 more I can do something with. And I will make I'll make about a dozen of them, and I'll come back tomorrow and we'll decorate some pockets, folks. Thanks for joining me today, and that's all for now. You have a wonderful afternoon. Bye, folks.